Welcome back to Access Anime. I'm Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough and review of Naruto Shippuden episode 287. Now, mostly the last episode was just Lady Tsunade's flashback that also included A, apparently, and A has two subordinates. One of his subordinates has been wounded and has like a bug inside of him. We learn more about what that bug actually is in this episode, but that was last episode and this is a brand new one, so let's dive right in. Before I forget, I'll keep my comment and my rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. But let's dive right in. Now, we open up this episode exactly where we left off. We see A, Lady Tsunade, both of A's subordinates, one being wounded of course, and Izune. And they're in an abandoned building, and Lady Tsunade's been pulled in to do surgery on one of A's subordinates. And we find out a little more about the mission that A and his three subordinates were actually on before one of his subordinates actually died. Now, his mission was to obtain the hidden jutsu from the Cedar Village, or I call it Cedar, but there's no I. I think it's pronounced Cedar Village. I want to see Cider Village, but it's Cedar Village. And again, just to obtain the hidden jutsu, jutsuo from them. Now, we actually get to see who the attackers are. They're mercenary shinobi, and they're called the Nakazoro. And there are 5 of them, and I hope I pronounced their name right. It's Nakizoru. I think that's how you say their name. Again, there are 5 of them, but we don't get to see a lot of them when they first attack A and his group. We just see them in black shadows. And again, they are they're mercenary shinobi. They don't belong to any villages. They're just, a random guild that was hired by, I said guild, random shinobi mercenary group that was hired by the Cedar Village just to obtain their scrolls back, which were stolen by A and his 2 subordinates. Well, technically 3 subordinates, but 1 is now dead. Now, we find out a little more about how they were infected. Basically, it's chakra with it's like a paper bomb-like properties, but it's like an insect that's inside of you to a point, and it comes out of the chest the more you use your chakra. And it absorbs chakra, and it causes pain. There's not a lot of description toward it, other than we find out that A's been affected. Everyone that was now, except for one of the subordinates, apparently everyone's been like they're carrying whatever this disease is, this technique, so they've been infected. So A's been infected, and so it has his other subordinate, which is the one that's on the stretcher. I don't know about his other subordinate, the one that's doing the surgery. I don't know if he's been infected or not. We don't know. But we didn't even get to find out at all in this episode. That's the funny thing. But I digress. Let me move on. Again, A is sitting back and he's watching Lady Tsunade perform surgery now on one of A's subordinates. Now, here's the ironic thing. We find out that, well, Lady Tsunade does not like blood, and A is very stunned by this. How can you be a doctor if you're scared of blood? Because she's a hemophobiac. Well, she has hemophobia is what she has, and it's mostly due, we find out later on why. It's because of the death of her brother and her lover when they died. So again, this was her flashback. At present, she can actually do the surgery and whatnot because she has faith in Naruto. She's giving it one more try. But again, we do a little background on Lady Tsunade on why she does not like blood. And again, just kind of, I didn't even see this really coming, to be honest. But I digress. Moving on. We see the mercenary group. I'm not going to pronounce their name because I don't want to pronounce their name. I'm just going to call them the mercenary group. We see this mercenary group. There are 5 members outside of the abandoned building. They've actually narrowed it down to where Lady Tsunade is at. And it's funny because you see Lady Tsunade going over what's going to happen during surgery and why Izune is going to be performing it. And she sees like we see a bug. When you're watching this episode, you see a bug looking at them, like you see bug type eyes watching Lady Tsunade and A as they're talking. And then Lady Tsunade says, okay, A, don't move around, don't use your chakra because you've been infected. And the only reason why you haven't been affected is because you've used your chakra differently, so where you're not using it in full amount. So that's why during her little arm wrestling match, why he wasn't affected by his chakra usage. He was using it differently. But anyways, she notices there's like a bug or insect right behind A, and she attacks him. And he didn't power up. He kept his word. He didn't use his chakra. And she's like, oh, okay, just a bug. And at the same time, you see the mercenary group that's outside one of the members, we don't know any of their names by the way, he just notices, okay, my bug's dead. He was spying with the bug. But anyways, he calls, I guess everyone's been called in, or somehow they all know when to show up. And there's 5 of them, 5 members of this mercenary guild. It's interesting, they each have their own different type of element. Got fire, water, it's kind of interesting. And they're coming up with a plan, what's going to happen. They want to approach the building, and I guess first they want to infect everyone, so they have like a trump card, and then they want to give them the cure for the scroll, so they can give it back to the Cedar Village. But that was their plan. Now here's a downside with this episode. We don't get to see this plan at all. Nothing ever takes effect. And apparently A has backup eventually that comes, and I guess this mercenary group kind of punks out and they don't do anything. But we don't get to see any of that information because this is a flashback. And again, we're taken to A and his subordinates. I guess it's been a success, the surgery worked, and that's where we're at. Again, we don't get to see the mercenary group kill at all or do anything. They kind of wimped out and left. The ending of this episode, ironically, is just Naruto and Killer B. They're reminiscing, well, I should say Naruto is reminiscing, and Killer B, this is like, we enter into this little scene, Killer B's like, can I see your necklace? And this is where the little flashback you see, like, Naruto says, oh yeah, when I was transforming, I guess the Ninetales must have broke it. So he doesn't have the necklace anymore that Lady Tsunade gave him. Kind of interesting. I should also point out, during this episode, we find out how Izune is connected to Lady Tsunade. Apparently, Lady Tsunade's lover was Izune's uncle. So that's why they're connected. And she's very close to Lady Tsunade, because if she can't perform her surgery because of the blood, or fear of blood, then she'll be her eyes and hands, she'll be the surgeon. She'll take her place. Like, she can live through me until she gets better or whatnot. So it's kind of interesting to see that. But again, that was the end of the episode. We see Naruto and Killer B. That's where we end. Now, as for final thoughts, wow, I wish I could have definitely seen that fight versus the mercenary shinobi, but it's kind of sad there. That lost a lot of points. It was a plus we got to see more of Lady Tsunade's background, but I was hoping to get a little more information on Izune in general once we find out that Lady Tsunade's lover was her uncle. So I want a little more information about that. Would have been nice. But again, one more final thought I'll just throw right in there. I would like to know more about A. What's his connection with Lady Tsunade? Do they have more run-ins? I mean, this is like one run-in we've seen so far. So I'm wondering, is there more background to this? Why you're so comfortable around him per se? I mean, did you guys have like another meetup in a previous episode, or in the manga maybe? That probably wasn't included. We don't know, but that's where I'm at. Final thoughts. Now, rating-wise, yeah, I'm not going to be that lenient on this kind of rating, because we got ripped off in this episode, plain and simple, and I really don't like it when we get ripped off as an audience, and specifically as a reviewer. I don't like getting ripped off where we've got this build up for a battle. You know it's going to be the mercenaries versus A or Lady Tsunade, one of the two, and guess what? It doesn't happen. That pisses me off. Yes, we got closure on Lady Tsunade and Izune's background, and why Lady Tsunade doesn't perform surgery blood-wise, because of her fear of blood, but I'm sorry, it was missing. I'm going to have to give this a 3.5 out of 5, so 3.5 out of 5 is my final rating. I came close to a 4 if it would have been a battle between the mercenaries, because that mercenary guild, Nakizuru, I think I pronounced it right, Nokizuru, they look kind of, you know, well put together, different elements. Would have been a hell of a battle, but we get ripped off, so kind of sad there. So again, final rating, 3.5 out of 5. But again, definitely comment down below, subscribe above, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, and most definitely comment. And check me out on Twitter and follow me if you want. But again, that ends it for my walkthrough and review of Naruto Shippuden episode 287. Now, I have 2 more walkthroughs and reviews to do, so definitely hang in there and check them out when I post them, okay? But that ends it for today, at least for now. Before I go, I have to say it. I got it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.